Las Cruces, New Mexico. I've never been to this state ever, and never thought that I would ever be here. It's pretty cool. There's mountains everywhere. The sunset was beautiful, and it's a pretty nice town. Fred and I went to the mall. They had a bunch of national chains that all sell the same stuff. Hot Topic, Journeys. What else do they have there, Fred?
It's the same mall in every country in the
Yeah,
world.
it's just basically the same stuff at like six different stores.
Yeah.
It kind of was like the Glendale Galleria in LA, except it's here in Las Cruces. So a bunch of stuff to catch up on before we do our two dedications tonight. We stopped in an area called Old Mesa. It's a beautiful little town, um, just 2 miles or 1 mile outside of Las Cruces, and there's a beautiful old church there. It's a minor basilica, um, and we went there. You may have seen on Twitter that I lit a candle for Scott and a candle for Pablo there. It was really beautiful. There was a baptism going on when I went in there, which was an interesting thing to witness, considering that I was going to light a candle for my son, whose life was lost. Um, we stopped at the like cafe, coffee house, ice cream shop on the town square in Old Mesa, and this is the area where Billy the Kid was hanged. And I'm not sure. Maybe the cafe was where they actually caught the dude. You know, uh,
Yeah.
maybe it was like a saloon or something back in the day. And the people in there asked um, what people always ask when we roll in with three or four or five people all wearing Pablove cycling kits. They asked, where are you guys from? What are you riding for? What's your cause? And Rick started to tell the shop owner what we were doing, and um, I sort of went and got my espresso. And a few minutes later, I was looking at the amazing rack of guns that they were selling in there, like fake replica guns of the Old West, and I was just soaking up the Pablo energy there, thinking, man, he would just literally want to buy every single one of these things and probably get a bullet belt and all that stuff. And the man handed me this white envelope, right? And inside of it, there was, he said, this is just a small contribution to help you out from my wife and I. And this is what was in it, a $50 bill. He said his wife had already been on Pablove.org, and they were pretty well abreast of what we were about and what we were doing in the 10 or 15 minutes that we were in his shop. Um, Things like this keep happening to us. It really is a beautiful thing. A few nights ago, the hotel proprietor in Del Rio, Texas, heard what we were up to, checked us out online, asked if I could come down to the front desk, and I went down there, and he said he was going to comp my room. A couple other things that have come up like that as well. Um, Jacques, Jack, who owns Jockey Mo's in New Orleans, comped a huge dinner for us when we had the whole crew in there eating dinner. Just, you know, I'm reluctant to say these are coincidences or surprises. I just believe that this is just the energy of what we're doing, and of course, you guys on the other end of this video are feeling what we're doing, and um, it's really cool to witness it. It really underlines this belief that I have that people are good, and that's my story, and I'm definitely sticking to that. Um, I want to dedicate tonight to. I'm going to break a rule. I am going to dedicate tonight to a little boy who did not make make it through his battle with cancer. Before I do that, I have a brief update on a boy called Rohin Hedge from Ohio. Who we dedicated our ride to him on October 12th, which was the third day of riding. And we just got a small update on him. As I get more information, I will let you know that the basic information is that his cancer has recurred um, somewhere in his body. I don't know any more than that. He's 5 years old, and we just got this information, and I wanted to share it with you so that you can see how this cancer game goes. You know, the family thought that he was rocking, and then this thing just comes crashing back into them. So I think tomorrow or the next day we'll have more info. We got an email today and this is our dedication for the night. We got an email through the info@pablove.org email. Rishi got it back at the office, and he forwarded it to Joanne and I. And I just want to read it to you. And in reading it to you, you'll hear what our dedication is tonight. It says, Jeff, I just wanted you to know that you're an inspiration. On September 5, 2009, my 2-year-old son Andrew lost his life after battling through 3 bone marrow transplants. He had a blood disorder known as HLH. When Andrew passed away, his older brother Matthew had just undergone his first bone marrow transplant and was only 8 days post-transplant. Having to leave Andrew's room in the PICU after he passed and going back to Matthew's room in the BMT unit to spend the night was absolutely horrible. Matthew is now 77 days post-transplant and is back in the hospital due to fluid around his heart and lungs. Thank you so much for bringing awareness to all these children who are spending their lives in these hospitals rather than outside playing. It simply isn't fair. I also want to thank you for talking about what it does to the families. We live in St. Louis, but our boys have been at Cincinnati Children's Hospital for their transplants, and it has been a long 27 months as we've battled this disease. I look forward to all your updates, and I wish you nothing but the best as you continue your journey across the country for Pablo. You are truly an inspiration to me, and I hope you have as much success getting more people on the National Bone Marrow Registry as you've had creating awareness about pediatric cancer. Signed, Justin Akin. So this is a father who sent us an email, and I want to dedicate our evening hours to him as a fellow father. Certainly to his son Andrew, who lost his battle with a medical disorder, and to his son Andrew, who's on his way back from a bone marrow transplant. I've talked a lot about the effect that any treatment for a life-threatening disease has on a family. Obviously, I've talked most about cancer, but getting an email like this, it really just makes me feel like what we're doing out here is really connecting with people. And if we can connect with people who are on the front lines of medical treatment with their families, we can then have that web reach other families who are not going through this, and other families beyond that and beyond that. It's a big deal. Any grassroots movement starts with a very small drop, and then the ripples go out. And Justin, thank you for writing, and I'm really glad that this came in today, right before I did the dedication here, because this is the kind of message that I want to send out to people, a real life message from a real father who's going through a real life situation, just as I have, just as Joanne and Grady have, just as Pablo did, and just as all of you have done, either in your own realm or with us. And so I'm going to sign off from Las Cruces. Tomorrow we are starting our mountain stages, climbing up into the mountains. I'm not sure if we're going to have cell service or Wi-Fi service when we're up there, so this may be the second last post you see from us for about 24 hours. And I thank you for your support and for tuning in.